Oh, hi there, everybody, and welcome to the town of the Children's Corner, located in the world of the magical couch. I'm Sheriff Stephen J., the Sheriff of Slouch County, and you just caught me doing something I don't do very often because I'm not good at it, but I'm going to bake. That's right, I'm going to bake a pastry here. It's Pasteis de Nata. Pasteis de Nata is like a very famous pastry that's made in Portugal. And I was there a while back. Remember, I was in Portugal. I told you about, I was on a river cruise, and I was on the Douro River, and I went through the Carapatello Dam, which has the tallest lock in the world. It was really high, almost 115 feet high. The Carapatello Dam. It's Carapatello or Carapatello, but let's call it Carapatello. I like that sound. And that dam was built between 1964 and 1971. And it was the first dam built on the Douro River. As you approach the lock from upstream, or the front side of the dam where the water is much lower than the backside, you see an enormous opening to your left, which your boat will be entering, and it exposes a huge chamber beyond it. Once you get inside the chamber, the upstream lock door will close behind you, creating a watertight seal. As the chamber fills with water, there are 8 mooring floats on each wall that follow the boats as they go up or down. The water level change, which floats your boat to the top of the lock, is just shy of 115 feet, making it to be one of the highest dams and locks in the world. Well, at any rate, why am I baking if I'm not good at it? Because when I was in Portugal, I brought these back with me from Portugal into the world of the magical couch. They're made in Portugal, but they're frozen. So I'm gonna put them into the oven at 450 degrees for 18 minutes. And then when they come out, I'm gonna sprinkle a little bit of powdered sugar and cinnamon on top for the authenticity. And we're gonna have us some custard tarts, Pasteis de Nata. So how did I find out about this? Well, it's all throughout Portugal. But I was over in Alfama, and then 5 minutes away is Belem, and Belem is where actually this all originated. Well, I'll tell you, let me tell you a little about it. It's pretty interesting. So let's begin at Alfama, which is a district of Lisbon, with Lisbon being the capital of Portugal. Alfama is not only Lisbon's oldest neighborhood, but it's also the start of Lisbon, with its history deeply intertwined with the city's origin. The word Alfama comes from the Arabic word Alhama, and that means hot springs, reflecting the area's Moorish influence. During the Moorish rule, which began in the 8th century, Alfama was the whole city of Lisbon. That's how Lisbon started, with Alfama. Its labyrinth layout of narrow streets, alleyways, and steep staircases is a testament to its ancient past, designed to provide shade and protection from the sun. In 868, the county of Portugal was founded, as well as a Christian Reconquista. Now that was a series of military campaigns that aimed to reclaim territories from the Moors. The last Muslim cities were captured in 1249, and Alfama saw significant changes at that time. The neighborhood's character evolved, blending Moorish and medieval Christian elements. In 1755, Alfama was largely untouched by the Great Lisbon earthquake that leveled Lisbon but left Alfama retaining much of its medieval charm. The resilience of its buildings, some of which date back centuries, stands as a historic reminder of the neighborhood's enduring legacy. Now, through the centuries, Alfama has been home to fishermen and the working poor, who are drawn to its proximity to the River Tagus. The district's relationship with the river has been fundamental to its identity, with the local community relying on it for their livelihood. This connection to the sea is evident in Alfama's culture and traditions, including its maritime-themed festivals and the revered fado music, which originated here. Fado emerged in the 1820s and is believed to have roots in the songs of sailors and fishermen who expressed their feelings of homesickness and longing through music upon returning from sea voyages. This genre is often associated with the sentiment of saudade, a Portuguese term that encapsulates feelings of nostalgia and yearning. However, it's not just a musical genre. it's a reflection of the Portuguese spirit. The themes of fado often revolve around destiny, betrayal, and love and loss, resonating deeply with the experiences of everyday life. The music was traditionally performed in taverns and street corners where fadistas, which is what they call fado singers, would captivate audiences with their emotional performances. This musical tradition, combined with Alfama's historic architecture and vibrant street life, makes it a unique and a captivating part of Lisbon, where the past and present coexist harmoniously. In recent decades, Alfama has been going through some significant restoration, resulting in changes by wealthier people moving in, improving housing, and attracting new businesses, and in the process typically displacing the current residents who live there. This transformation has turned Alfama from a poor area into a vibrant cultural and tourist hub. The small homes on the ancient streets are slowly becoming small condos and a popular destination for tourists. You can see people arriving with their suitcases in tow, walking up these steep alleyways and staircases to their 300 square foot destinations. Some of these which are too small to even fit a washer and dryer. Not to worry though, because Alfama still has their community washroom where you can see clothes hanging inside drying as you pass by. Despite these changes, the neighborhood has managed to retain its authentic charm. Visitors can wander through its maze-like streets, discovering historic landmarks such as the São Jorge Castle or St. George Castle, of which only the outside walls remain today. The Lisbon Cathedral, also known as the Cathedral of St. Mary Major, which is the oldest church in Lisbon, built in 1147 under the reign of King Alfonso Henriques. And the National Pantheon, which is a burial site for many prominent Portuguese figures, including presidents, writers, and explorers. And it was originally the Church of Santa Ingresia, built in 1568, with the current building begun in 1682, but not completed until 1966. Each of these sites provides a glimpse into the rich tapestry of Alfama's history. Now, a little over 5 miles away is Santa Maria de Belem, and that's the home of the famous Portuguese custard tarts, Pasteis de Nata. And they're right up there with the Portuguese flag, Portugal's national bird, which happens to be the Barcelos rooster, and the Portuguese state flower, which happens to be lavender. So what are Pasteis de Nata tarts? Well, they're pastries which were inspired by an original recipe called Pasteis de Belem, which were created before the 18th century by Catholic monks at the Geronimo Monastery in the civil parish of St. Mary of Bethlehem in Lisbon. At the time, convents and monasteries, they used large quantities of egg whites for starching clothes, such as friars' and nuns' religious habits. It was quite common for monasteries and convents to use the leftover egg yolks to make cakes and pastries, resulting in the rapid increase of sweet pastry recipes throughout the country. In the aftermath of the Liberal Revolution of 1820, following the dissolution of religious orders and in the face of the impending closure of many convents and monasteries, the monks started selling Pasteis de Nata at a nearby sugar refinery to bring in revenue. In 1834, the monastery was closed, and the recipe was sold to the sugar refinery, who owns it and keeps it under lock and key to this day. So what's the procedure to make a Pasteis de Nata? Well, it starts with the dough, and I can't really tell you how they make the dough because I don't know how they make the dough, but I know it starts with the dough. Once the dough is made, it's rolled into balls, and each ball placed into a plastic form, which is the shape of the tart. The dough is shaped to the form, after which the custard is added. You then put it in the oven, and you bake it for 15 to 18 minutes. When you take it out, you sprinkle a little cinnamon and powdered sugar on top. You're gonna love Pasteis de Natas. Today, the monastery is a major tourist hotspot and a UNESCO World Heritage Site. UNESCO being the acronym for the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization. UNESCO promotes world peace and security through international cooperation in education, arts, sciences, and culture. Well, wasn't that interesting? Well, I'll tell you what, it was interesting. But what's even more interesting is putting these puppies in the oven and bake them for 15 to 18 minutes. So we're supposed to do that right now and try some of these. I know I am. Oh, Pasteis de Nata. Oh, there. Yeah. You notice how to get this? Hot. Woo, look at that. Pasteis de Nata. Okay. So now what we're going to do is... Ooh, look at that. We're going to put a little bit of powdered sugar on it. Here, sugar, sugar, powdered sugar. That's right, powdered sugar. Okay. There we go. Powdered sugar is messy. How about a little bit of cinnamon? A little touch cinnamon, cinnamon. Just a little tiny bit there. All right. Okay. Pasteis de Nata. Look at that. Cinnamon's melting because it's very hot. You're supposed to wait 10 minutes for this to cool down before you eat it. So let's wait 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Cool down. Well, let's try one of these. Ooh. Mmm. Oh. Flaky crust. That custard is just to die for. I love these things. Straight from Portugal. Not any better than this. Well, you know, you're supposed to, after you cook these, consume them within 48 hours. I don't think consuming them within 48 hours is really going to be a problem. Well,